Let's welcome former senator and, well, I mean, it's unofficial, but it looks pretty
official.
legit.
And also on the line, Eminem's lawyer.
Former Senator Joanne Brown, who, according to these unofficial results, has pretty much got herself a seat in the next Guam legislature. So first of all, congratulations, Senator.
Wow, Chris, thank you. And I have to give all of you credit for your endurance. I finally fell asleep after so many hours. And so whatever I say, I can't be held accountable. I'm not quite awake yet, but thanks so much for your call this morning.
Right. Yeah, I saw your last scene on WhatsApp, and I figure there was a real dead zone around like 2 in the morning. A lot of people faded. Not us, though. Not us.
It might just be age, it was a very, very busy day yesterday, and so certainly just trying to catch up on some sleep and get to some sense of order again. But thank you. I certainly look forward to the completed results of this election, and certainly, as you mentioned, thank you to all the people that took the time to vote and expressed their voice yesterday and during the previous weeks earlier that the Guam Election Commission provided the opportunity for our people to come and vote.
I gotta say, it's gonna be an interesting 2 years with the 36th Guam Legislature, seeing a lot of the former senators coming back. You, Tony Atta, Chris Duenas, and Frank Blas Jr.
Man, Democrats got to be pissed off.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm almost scared to see what the first day of session's going to be like.
Well, there's no doubt. I mean, it's been 16 years since my last election to the Guam Legislature, and certainly part of that, I was honored to be able to serve 6 consecutive terms for our people. Coming back during this time, I certainly bring the experience to the table, but what motivated me to run after all these years in the first place, because I never thought I'd run again for the Guam Legislature. I was just so dissatisfied with the direction of leadership. And while, even if the Democrats do retain the majority, looking at the numbers, it's a very slim majority. I think we all need to be on our toes, and certainly I'm going to do my very best in the time the people have provided me to ensure that we have checks and balances back in our government, and that some of these issues of corruption that have been going on, that have had no voice out there with the current legislature, is certainly not something I'm going to be doing for the 2 years that I'm there. I really do appreciate this opportunity to be able to come back, because, I want to say, though, also, we had some very, very, very good candidates on our slate that did not make the numbers, at least looking at the unofficial results so far.
Right.
And I'll tell you, I don't want any of them to be discouraged. I hope that they consider running again. A lot of it had to do with the degree of exposure in this election and the lack of resources in campaigning, just being able to raise money and do what candidates normally need to do to get their name out there. So I'm very hopeful. Because I don't think it's just a question of, we're the best quality. There were a number of really good people in this election that were running that I don't doubt, had they been elected, would do exceptionally well. And I hope they run again. I hope they don't give up in what their message is and what they're passionate about. Because I can't imagine, I'm waking up, and if I'm indeed fortunate to get back in, that's a good feeling. But I can't imagine those that work so hard that did not win this election. And I hope they don't get discouraged yet and try again, because getting out there and getting the people to know who you are, that's part of the important part of it. And if I've gotten elected, then that's probably because of that more than anything else.
Yeah, and one of those candidates, I kind of was impressed with him when he came on the show. And that was Republican candidate Vince Borja.
Yeah.
I really did think he had a really good shot. I mean, he came in right now at number 19.
Yeah. Doesn't look like it.
Yeah.
Well, Vince, I certainly just met him now in this run for the legislature, but there's no doubt he's very sharp. He's very articulate. He has a very grounded message about why he is running and the difference that he would make. And I certainly hope this is not the last. I definitely will encourage him and many others. You had Michelle Armenta. You had Sandra Sayu that ran. These are just some good people that had a very strong agenda of what was important to them and why they would come, especially as newcomers, to not have run before, and put themselves out there. And I hope that they don't give up on what it is that they want to do. Sometimes things don't happen exactly when and where we want them to happen. But you know what? It's all in the building. It makes you stronger. It makes you better. It makes you more determined. So I don't doubt I'm going to be reaching out and talking to those candidates, because this is in terms of slates that we've had in the number of elections, certainly since I've left the legislature, this is one of the strongest Republican slates that we've had in quite a long time in terms of quality candidates running. And I'm very hopeful that we will continue on that track. I think we're seeing what happens when good people don't stand up to be counted. And so certainly for me personally, that's something I would want to work on for the next legislature, for new up and coming that I think very much have the responsibility to take over when those, as myself, I mean, next to Congressman Underwood, I'm the second oldest political person running in this election. So I'm also going to look to see how we can groom some very good people like Vince and Michelle and Sandra that we mentioned, and others to come back and run again and make a difference in this community.
You mentioned Congressman Robert Underwood. Let's bring him in now. He's in our Zoom room.
Senator Joanne, we're just going to have a few words with Congressman Underwood, and then we'll come back to the convo with you.
Oh, no problem. By all means, please.
Congressman, good morning. Just, I guess, your thoughts, first of all, here on official results that we have so far, with 13 precincts yet to be counted, with 45.97% of the vote. Incumbent Congressman Michael St. Nicholas with 10,076 votes. And then you with 33% of the vote, 7,238.